In this exercise, we're going to be discussing hole and thread notes. They're very easy to use and pretty simple. So we come over to the next panel over from the dimension panel. We select hole and thread note. We select a hole and we drop it. You can see it's very easy to use. There's not a whole lot to it. If I want, I can come in here and pick on hidden lines of holes. I can actually come in here and drop as many of them as I want. It doesn't matter if it's in a 2D or isometric view. And it will allow me to add them multiple times for multiple objects. If I'm not happy with the verbiage in the note, I can simply select the note, right click, and say Edit Hole Note. So we can see there, we can see the thread depth, we can see the thread diameter, we can see the counterbore, we can see the counterbore depth, all the information about this hole. I can actually add things like hole diameter, so I could see what the actual hole diameter would be. I can add a space in there. I could see hole depth. Of course, the counterbore is already in there. Counterbore depth, countersink diameter value, countersink angle, countersink depth, say quantity. How many of them is there? We can have more than one hole and it'll actually count them for us. I can tell it whether or not I want to show part units. I can decide precision and quantity. And the quantity there, you can see how do you want it to show up. I can actually see the thread designation, thread pitch, the depth, tap drill diameter value. That's always a good one. Fastener type, fastener size, and fastener fit. That's another good one to have there. So you can tell, hey, this is going to be a tight or whatever hole. So now I get all this information in here. Doesn't mean a thing to me because it's all jumbled up. So in here, what I can do is I can actually type in what it's going to be. So if I need this information in there, type it in, and then it'll tell me, what information there is about that hole. Quantity isn't going to do me any good here because there's only one hole, and there's not a fit there because that's a through hole, not an actual screw hole. So here, I can add quantity again, fit again, and you can see now there's 4 holes in there, and it's a normal fit. So you get a lot of information with this command. You can set this up as a style. So you can come up here and you can change the style to the way it shows. You can have it be a different layer if you need to. If we select it, we can actually go into the style and we can edit the style based on what we want it to say. And then we could tell it to save this so that we'll do it over and over again. We could repeat it. We'll get into styles a little bit later on, but one of the things I do suggest is if you come in here and edit any of these, don't actually edit them. Create a new style and save it out as your own. So I'd say new. It's going to be a copy of this. So instead, I would change this over to something that's easy to remember. Company name, my name. Done. So then I could change this to that style, Andy. And it would have everything in there that I need it to be. So play with the hole notes.idw. See what you can do with it. See all the notes you can add. See what it does with different notes, how it reacts to the different notes, and what you can get out of it for your designs. Think about placement of the notes. If you need to move them around, the way you move the hole notes is you grab the knuckle here and you drag that around. If you end up in a situation like this, you can actually drag it to the other side there, or you can go back through the hole. See what I did there? If you go through the hole, it'll actually show it on the other side. Go back through, bring it around. Kind of like tying your shoe there. Bunny loop around. So now the arrow will be on the correct side. If you take and you move this off of the hole, it'll remember the hole. If you try to move it to a different hole, it's not going to let you. This information is based on that hole. So if you grab the wrong hole by accident, you just have to delete it and start over. That's the easiest way to do it. I mean, there's not a whole lot to creating a hole and thread note. So just drop another one in there and you're good to go. So play with it, have some fun with it, see what you can do.